Hey everyone, it's Bria. I'm back with another scrapbook process video for the Simple Stories design team, and I'm going to be working with the Wildflower collection, and it is so stunning. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, and I'm so sorry that I was not able to do an unboxing before this process, but I just kind of show you the pattern papers that come in this collection right there. This is a collection that Simple Stories collaborated with My Mind's Eye, so it's an exclusive, and it's totally got both of the company's touches to it, and I love it. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. So since there's so many different pattern papers in this collection that I love, I wanted to create a layout that would highlight the 12 by 12 pattern papers. So I've chosen a few. I'm just kind of going through them, seeing which ones would really complement each other. I mean, like in reality, they all complement each other, but I wanted to make sure that I chose like kind of like my favorite patterns. So that's what I did. So I have plans to cut these 12 by 12 papers into some strips, and that's what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to adhere them to a piece of the textured cardstock in mint. And I did think about using white cardstock as the base, but I thought just for an extra touch, I would use mint instead of white. Right here, you'll see most of it gets covered up, but I am going to distress the edges of all of the strips, and I'm going to rip them. I'm going to pull some back just to expose that cardstock underneath it. Now, when you look at how I have the strips laid out here, this was my original design. Like, I had the floral, the gray, the floral, and then that gingham, and then the floral, and then the little tigers at the bottom. But when I went to adhere them down, I legit adhered the two floral patterns together. And did I think about redoing the entire thing? Yes. Because the florals were heavy at the top. And that's the only thing that really bothered me. I didn't change it. If I could, I would have, but I was like, you know what, Brianna, just go with it. It's fine. It's really not that big of a deal. So I did. And what I did was I also ran it through my sewing machine, each strip, so that it could add a little bit more texture and also some interest. So I pulled out the chipboard frames. I knew I wanted to use the circular one and that tiny one. It's got like stripes on it, but I was having a bit of a creative block with them. I didn't really know how I wanted them. So I skipped ahead and I went ahead and was like, okay, just mat your photo and then go back to it. That's what I do when I kind of can't decide, since I'm such an indecisive person, is I just move on and then kind of work through it after. So I'm just matting my photo with some of the papers from the 6x8 paper pad, and I had it too much at the bottom, and I didn't like it because it made my photo that much bigger. I'm scrapping a 4x4 photo. I usually scrapbook 2x3s. That's like my photo size of choice. So when it's on a bigger scale, I kind of struggle a little bit. So I made it a little bit smaller. So I decided in the end to have that goldish yellow circular chipboard frame as a layering piece for my photo, since it's the larger of the two. And then that floral frame down at the bottom, I really wanted to incorporate that in as like an embellishment cluster placement. So I have it down at the bottom right, and I'll work on that here in just a second. So my title is going to be Cherish today, and I pulled both of those pieces from the foam sticker sheet. And then I adhered those down. I added a tag underneath my photo. And now I'm just going through the bits and pieces, the journal bits, and then some of the floral bits I haven't reached for the floral bits yet, but I'm just kind of getting an idea of how I want things placed. And I do, this layout took me a little bit because I've said probably in a lot of my videos, especially working with a new collection, I have a hard time deciding, especially when things are so dang cute. So I become extremely indecisive. I want to put everything on the paper. So I had to step away a couple times just so that I could not put so much on and then kind of figure out what I wanted. So I kind of left some of that in so you can see what my thought process was, or what I was doing, and taking things off and putting things back on, and figure that frame, that little floral frame down at the bottom, I had that in so many different spots on this layout, but I am pleased with it at the bottom. So what I did was I cut that frame and then put the other half up at the top, and I just kind of tucked it underneath that circular frame. And then now I'm just tucking in some floral bits. I have a couple butterflies. What else am I doing? Oh, I'm pulling some stickers from the cardstock sticker sheet. I think I add a phrase as well. Now I'm just going in with my decorative brads, placing those around my page. I added some white twine to that tag. I just love how this page turned out. I love all of those patterns. They kind of just work together to make it cohesive. I like the messy look. I like the torn edges. I did add some white paint. I forgot to mention that. I had some white distress paint that I added just to kind of like distress some of those patterns, just to kind of make them go even better together, just, you know, so they're all cohesive. So yeah, so now I did add some enamel dots, and then to finish it off, I am going to add some white paint splatters because I'm addicted. You know me and my Dina Wakley acrylic paint spray. That's one of my favorite things. So I'm just adding that in, and I think that about does it. I really like the cluster at the bottom. I think it's so fun with all the layers. I got an ampersand. I put a chipboard bow. And yeah, this page was a lot of fun to make, and this collection is stunning. So thank you so much for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Here are some final shots as well as some up-close photos as well. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.